The reign of the gasoline car is coming to an end. For over a century, they have dominated our roads, but their time is running out. Like a dinosaur facing extinction, the gasoline car is being replaced by a new breed electric vehicles. This isn't just a fad or a passing trend. The shift to electric vehicles is inevitable. The economic forces are simply too powerful to ignore. We are witnessing the beginning of the end for gasoline cars. This decline is driven by a powerful economic force, the death spiral. Like a whirlpool, the death spiral pulls gasoline cars down a path of no return. As more people switch to EVs, gasoline cars become less appealing and less profitable. This transition is not just about economics. It's about a cleaner, healthier future for our planet. Buckle up as we explore the reasons why gasoline cars are destined for the scrapyard of history.
Imagine a whirlpool, its swirling current pulling everything towards its center. This is the death spiral, and for gasoline cars it's already begun. As electric vehicles become more popular, gasoline cars are being dragged down a path of no return. Here's how it works. As more people choose EVs, demand for gasoline cars drops. Lower demand means fewer gasoline cars are produced. This leads to higher production costs per car for manufacturers. Higher production costs mean higher prices for consumers. Fewer people want to buy a more expensive, less desirable gasoline car when an EV is a better option. This further reduces demand, pushing gasoline cars deeper into the spiral. This cycle, once started, is very difficult to stop. It's a self-reinforcing loop that spells doom for the gasoline car.
For decades, gasoline cars benefited from economies of scale. Mass production made them cheaper and more accessible. Factories churned out millions of identical engines, transmissions, and other parts, driving down costs. But this advantage is now a liability. Electric vehicles are much simpler to build. They have fewer moving parts, requiring less manufacturing complexity. This means EV production can scale up quickly and cheaply. As EV production ramps up, the costs for batteries, motors, and other components decrease. This is the opposite of what's happening with gasoline cars, where declining production is leading to higher costs per unit. In essence, gasoline cars are becoming victims of their own success. The mass production model that once made them dominant is now working against them as EVs take the lead.
Imagine a bakery that makes 1,000 loaves of bread a day. The cost of flour, yeast and labor is spread across all those loaves, making each one relatively cheap. Now, imagine they only sell 100 loaves. The cost of ingredients and labor remains largely the same, but now, each loaf has to be sold at a much higher price to cover those costs. This is the challenge facing gasoline car manufacturers today. As demand declines, so does production. However, they still have massive factories, expensive equipment, and labor costs. These fixed costs don't disappear just because they're making fewer cars. This means the cost of producing each gasoline car goes up. Those higher costs are passed on to consumers, making gasoline cars even less attractive compared to increasingly affordable EVs. It's a vicious cycle that's pushing gasoline cars further down the road to obsolescence.
Section 5, Used and Abused, the dwindling value of gas-powered vehicles. Remember when buying a used car was a smart way to save money? Those days are numbered, especially for gasoline-powered vehicles. As new EVs flood the market, the resale value of gas guzzlers is plummeting. Would you rather buy a used gasoline car with its maintenance headaches and fluctuating fuel costs, or a sleek, modern EV with lower running costs and a smaller environmental footprint? Consumers are increasingly choosing the latter, and the used car market is reflecting this shift. As demand for used gasoline cars dwindles, so does their value. This depreciation makes buying a new gasoline car even less appealing.
Section 6. The EV surge, charging towards a greener future. While gasoline cars are stuck in reverse, the electric vehicle market is speeding ahead. Major automakers are investing billions in new EV models, battery technology, and charging infrastructure. This surge in investment is driven by consumer demand and government regulations aimed at reducing carbon emissions. As a result, EVs are becoming more affordable, practical, and desirable. Just a few years ago, EVs were seen as niche products, limited by range anxiety and high prices. Today, there are EVs for every budget and lifestyle, with ranges exceeding 300 miles on a single charge. Charging infrastructure is also rapidly expanding, making it easier than ever to find a place to fuel up your EV. The future of transportation is electric, and it's arriving faster than many people realize.
Section 7. Consumer choice. Why drivers are ditching gas for good. Consumers are no longer just flirting with the idea of electric vehicles, they're making the switch in droves. Why? Because EVs offer a compelling combination of performance, sustainability, and cost savings. Electric motors deliver instant torque, providing exhilarating acceleration. EVs are incredibly quiet, offering a serene driving experience. And with fewer moving parts, EVs require less maintenance than their gas-guzzling counterparts. But it's not just about performance. Consumers are increasingly conscious of their environmental impact, and EVs offer a guilt-free way to get around. With no tailpipe emissions, EVs contribute to cleaner air and a healthier planet. Add in lower fuel and maintenance costs, and it's clear why EVs are winning the hearts and minds of drivers worldwide. The transition to electric transportation is being driven by consumer demand, a powerful force that's reshaping the automotive landscape.
Section 8. Environmental impact. Clearing the air of pollution. The environmental impact of gasoline cars is undeniable. From tailpipe emissions that pollute our air to the extraction and refining of oil, gasoline cars take a heavy toll on our planet. These emissions contribute to climate change, respiratory problems, and other health issues. The environmental costs of our reliance on gasoline are simply too high to ignore. Electric vehicles, on the other hand, offer a cleaner alternative. With no tailpipe emissions, EVs help reduce air pollution and combat climate change. While the production of EV batteries does have an environmental impact, it's important to consider the entire life cycle of the vehicle. Studies have shown that EVs have a significantly lower carbon footprint than gasoline cars over their lifespan. The shift to electric transportation is not just about economics, it's about creating a healthier, more sustainable future for generations to come.
Section 9. Government policies steering the world towards electric. Governments are enacting policies to accelerate the electric vehicle transition. From tax incentives to stricter emissions standards, they drive EV adoption. Financial incentives make EVs more affordable for consumers. Cities are restricting gasoline cars to improve air quality. Combined with consumer demand, these policies push towards electric mobility. Governments are crucial in steering the world towards sustainable transportation.
Section 10. A global shift electric mobility takes center stage. The shift to electric mobility is a global phenomenon. From Norway to China, countries around the world are embracing electric vehicles at an unprecedented rate. In Norway, EVs already account for a majority of new car sales, thanks to generous government incentives and a strong commitment to sustainability. China, the world's largest car market, is also experiencing a surge in EV adoption, driven by government policies and concerns about air pollution. This global shift is being fueled by the same factors: the declining cost of EVs, improvements in battery technology, and growing awareness of the environmental impact of gasoline cars. It's a clear indication that the future of transportation is electric, and the rest of the world is catching up. The transition to electric mobility is a global movement, driven by a shared desire for a cleaner, more sustainable future.
Section 11. The road ahead. Embracing the electric revolution. The writing is on the wall. The era of the gasoline car is coming to an end. The death spiral is in motion, and electric vehicles are poised to dominate the roads of the future. This transition won't happen overnight, but it's happening faster than many people realize. As EV production ramps up, costs will continue to fall, making them accessible to even more consumers. Charging infrastructure will continue to expand, alleviating range anxiety and making EVs a practical choice for everyone. The benefits of this transition are numerous. Cleaner air, reduced dependence on fossil fuels, and a quieter, more sustainable transportation system are all within reach. The road ahead is clear. The future of transportation is electric. Embracing this revolution isn't just about being on the right side of history. It's about being part of a cleaner, brighter future for generations to come.